Hey, what's up, people? This is George from Crypto Potato, and in this episode, we sit down with the CEO of MatchAwards, the platform transforming how businesses discover and secure funding, contracts, and growth opportunities. Powered by AI-driven matching, MatchAwards connects organizations with grants, government contracts, and strategic partners, smarter and faster than ever before. Our guest shares the original story, the mission to level the playing field for small and mid-sized enterprises, and how the platform is unlocking millions in untapped potential. Now expanding into the world of Web3 with their own token launch, there is a lot to unpack. So stay tuned to hear all about this exciting new and upcoming opportunity. Okay, so then let's jump right into it. Can
Sure.
you perhaps, give us a little bit of your background? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So no problem. My name's Clarence Briggs. I'm the head cook and bottle washer of a company called AIT, Advanced Internet Technologies. That is the company that basically is housing the MatchAwards.com platform. I've been in business for 30 years, owned and operated a data center. In fact, we're in a data center right now. Like I said, we've been around a while. We were web hosting, domain registration, software as a service. So we've been around the block a few times. This is our flagship product, MatchAwards.com, our service. We're pushing this platform out. We've been working on it for 3 years. There are earlier iterations of it, Web 1.0, 2.0. This is a transitional moment for us because we're taking this platform, MatchAwards, to 3.0, AI-powered, blockchain-enabled, and basically lots of cool bells and whistles and features. My background is an entrepreneur. I started off in a garage, basically, and worked my way up. Took me 1 year to make my first sale of a website. That was a $19.95 deal. I was very proud of that. And since then, things have grown and grown. We've grown into a two-time Inc. 500 company, multi-million-dollar company. Like I said, they own and operate our own data center. Previous to that, I was in the U.S. military. I was an infantry officer. I served as an airborne ranger. Had 2 combat tours around the world, and then decided to get out and try the private sector. And we do have quite a few veterans in our company, military veterans, folks in and around, because we are located next to a military installation. So that pretty much, George, sums up my entire life up to this point with the launch of MatchAwards.com. As we say in the United States football, this is my Hail Mary on the way out. And I think it's going to be very disruptive, and we're looking forward to its launch.
Before we dive deeper into what MatchAwards does,
Right.
do you remember the year your first website sold?
Yes, I do. 1996.
Can you perhaps reflect on the difference between how the internet has shaped up to be? Did you guys, because when you sold your first website, I was 5 years old, so it's always interesting to think back and kind of get the juice from people who were
Sure. Who were old.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I had just gotten out of the military, and I was sitting at home. I was on convalescent leave. I had sustained an injury to my knee, and I had a magazine. It was called Internet Magazine, and I opened it up, and I was looking at it, and I said, "Internet, what is this? And so I started looking at the ads, and I said, "This can't be that difficult." So I kind of launched a little company. Now, back then in 95 and 96, there weren't a lot of players around. You could go register pretty much any domain name you want. I mean, we have a 3-letter domain name, AIT.com. Oh my God. Right. And then we had, at one point, ICANN accredited domain registrar. At one point I had ecommerce.com. I mean, we had all of them. So back then, I'm going to say 2 things. One, there was a lot of opportunity, very similar to right now. I think that the fact that the onset that the internet was introduced, really in a material, I think a commercial manner back in 94, 95, 96 is when it started. Although the internet protocols were developed far before then, it didn't start to go commercial until then. And then people started to look and see how they could basically monetize this incredible transformation of technology and communication. A lot of excitement. It was like a gold rush. People were trying different models out. And at the end, between 96 and about 2000 is when you saw the implosion. 2000 was the massive crash. Okay. And basically, if you didn't have a business model that made sense, okay, that was sustainable, basically you went down the tubes. And so there were a lot of companies out there selling vaporware. And the valuations didn't make any sense. When you looked at the valuations, they had a 50x multiple on EBITDA revenue or something just crazy, or the multiple didn't make sense. So there was a lot of money being thrown around. But in 2000, everybody had to pay the piper. And when the piper came calling, basically, that's an American slang term, piper came calling, the crash came. And when it came, if you didn't have a real business model with a real revenue model and you weren't tied to intrinsic value, you failed. So I see a lot of similarities and differences. The differences are, okay, different technologies, okay, back in 96, 2000 versus now, with the AI explosion, the crypto blockchain explosion, even more stuff coming out, quite frankly. And I'm seeing basically the differences, but the similarities are more potent. I think that you're seeing another gold rush, and I think you're going to see a lot of companies out there trying different avenues, but only a few are going to succeed.
Do you think that's because of what artificial intelligence is kind of, opening up the...
Yeah, I think that I don't think artificial intelligence is a threat. I don't view AI as a threat. Okay. I view it as a new technology that we need to learn to master and understand, and then basically enable our capabilities. And that's the way I see basically artificial intelligence impacting. I don't see it as basically, oh, it's going to take all the jobs. It's going to take everything away from you. The robots will be doing everything. And all of a sudden, we've got like, an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, with all the robots taking over. I don't see that happening. I see AI as being basically just another technological step in the evolution of technology, just like blockchain is another step in that direction. And I see a massive transformation, 2.0, 3.0. I see people changing jobs. Okay, I heard a lot of people say, oh, coders are dead. No, coders are not dead. Okay, it's a matter of which coders are going to be will work the best with AI and basically communicate with it in a manner to enable and accelerate their success in what they're doing. So
it kind of provides additional opportunities to those who are able to take advantage of it.
I absolutely. I mean, and if you look, if you look through the years, when I can remember when, again, this probably predates you, but when the ATM machine first came out and they had ATM cards and people that were traditional, go to the bank to deposit or make withdrawals were terrified of the ATM. And they were like, that's my card, how are we getting money out of this machine? How's it coming out of my bank account? And people were freaking out. Nobody would touch it. Nobody would use it until finally people figured out, hey, this is really convenient. I got my money in a bank. I don't have to go there once a month, get a whole bunch of cash, gob it up, put it in my pocket, walk around, spend cash. I can actually take the money out as I need it. I can do the electronic deposits, and you can go back the history of technology. Go back as far as the printing press, go back as far as the wheel, go back all the way back. And everybody's at first, the old school folks look at it and they're terrified of it. Okay. But then there's a certain group of people that embrace it and begin to use it. So I think this is just an extension of what we're seeing right now.
Right. A lot of people compared what's happening in the crypto industry to the .com bubble that you were speaking of.
Yeah.
Because you also kind of drew a similarity when you said that there were a lot of opportunities back then, and you said that you see many opportunities right now. Do you think there is, where do you see those opportunities perhaps coming?
Okay, so where I see the opportunities is basically bridging Web 2.0 to 3.0. And that bridge has to make sense. And first of all, people need to understand that, all money, all financial instruments are a derivative of real value. Okay, I cannot eat money. I cannot put money on top of my head and keep the rain off of me. I can't go into a money house that's made of money and live there and reside there. What money does do, though, as we all know, is it presents a value, a way of basically comparing values. So I see basically the platforms and projects that are able to bridge the 2.0 to 3.0 in terms of a couple of areas are going to be the ones that succeed. So first of all is control. Second of all is monetization. And third of all is basically privacy. So if you look at the old Web 2.0 platforms and you look at MatchAwards and what MatchAwards really is, and then I'll answer the question about the bridge 2.0 to 3.0. Think about matchawards.com as a combination of a social media paradigm with an economic development paradigm. And we've combined the two and we've empowered it with AI and blockchain. And we're going to monetize it with a revolutionary ad module that basically accepts both fiat currency and cryptocurrency. So in terms of control, the old school, okay, when you go in and you create a profile in Facebook or a profile in LinkedIn or a profile on Twitter, whatever, okay, you're creating a profile and basically you receive presumably content that is related to your profile. That may or may not be true. When you come into our platform as a business, as a user, as a token holder, as whatever, what we do is you come in, let's say you're an electrical engineer. Okay, George sets his profile up. I'm an electrical engineer. You could be a landscaper, you could be whatever. When you set your profile up, okay, and we take the AI and we translate your profile into machine-coded languages, into opportunity-coded languages, opportunities using PSCS codes, or product service codes, zip codes, CFDA codes, basically NAICS codes. When you open up your profile, after you set your profile up, you as an electrical engineer, you see government contracts, B2B contracts, grants, grant awards, business-to-business opportunities, scholarships, jobs, whatever, that all relate to an electrical engineer. Your profile. Okay, you don't see stuff about puppy dogs or flowers because this platform is about making money. So all the users get to log in and make money. So you'll see opportunities to provide electrical engineering services and conduit to build a plant or a commercial building, or if you're residential, how to wire a house. You'll see ads for transformers, multimeters, things that you want to see. Okay, you'll see opportunities. Let me get to the ad part in a minute. But you'll also see advertising that relates to that because we monetize this platform with relevant ads. We have our own ad module, which is a many real-time CPC ad module. And there aren't very many of them out there. In fact, it's Google, Yahoo, Bing, and Baidu. We have the first one, and ours will be fully integrated with blockchain technologies. And we're looking at how we're going to partner with other blockchain and other token providers out there inside of our platform. So, but the transformation, going back to basically what you just asked. So in terms of control, okay, so if it's all centrally controlled with the other platforms, right? With our platform, it's federated. Okay, so there is almost a democratic republic set up. We have a DAO, okay, but we all know that unlimited democracy will never make a decision. You cannot put 3 million people in a room and have them make a speech and debate and come up with a decision. Impossible. But what we've done is we have our regular tokens, our MAPU tokens, MatchAwards Platform Utility tokens, but then those tokens basically are for end users. Then we have our strategic tokens, which are MatchAwards Platform, basically utility and governance tokens. We only have 11 of those. We're going to be providing those to key partners. And it might be other, what we call EDOs. Those are our channel partners, economic development organization channel partners, who can bring value to our platform and who we can reciprocate, provide them a value. 11 governance tokens, one that will represent the DAO, the other 10 will represent strategic partners of ours. They, basically accredited, qualified strategic partners. So what we're doing is we're bridging the gap and we're saying, look, a complete centralized system is no good. But we're also saying that democracy that is a pure democracy in the purest sense is not going to work because it's just too cumbersome. So we've basically created a hybrid with basically our control mechanisms and our federated platform. So basically we have DAO, we have representation, but there are 11 token holders that represent 11 large constituents that sit on or will sit on the board of advisors once we do our token offering. So I think that's the first way to answer the question of control. 2.0 bridging to a 3.0 type of a model with respect to control. The second one is monetization. Okay, so how do those guys monetize? You ever go to Google And have you ever gone to Google and set up an ad? Okay, so when you do, it's very clever, right? So if you're pay-per-click, which is Google, cost per click, you set up your ad. They all, Facebook, Twitter, they all make their money off of ad monetization, pretty much. That and some other interactive type of activities on their platforms. At the end of the day, I pay $25 to $35 per click for my keywords for my data center. Okay. Right. Also been an affiliate of Google, the guy that receives a rev share when you're a publisher. So think of Google as the core. You got their advertisers. The advertisers are paying Google, and it's pay-per-click. You see it on your bill. It's $25, $35, right? Then there's some magical stuff that happens in between. It's magic. It's magic. But the magic always goes one direction. It takes money, and then it doesn't give money. So now you're an affiliate down here, and you got Google AdSense running on your site, right? And you're thinking, boy, am I going to make a bundle? No, you're not. Okay. You get maybe $3, $4, $5 if you're lucky for CPM, not CPC. It's per million impressions, or excuse me, 1,000 impressions. So where does the money go between the $25 to $35 per click that the advertisers charge down to the thousands of impressions and then sometimes hundreds of clicks when you look, and you're getting paid $5 for that? Okay, what's going on there? Can you? I'll tell you what's going on there. There's a bunch of middlemen or people taking the money out, and you can see it. It's getting deducted all the way down. So in terms of monetization, we've got the blockchain in place. Our ad module is going to be integrated in with it. Okay, we may look to partner. Quite frankly, we're looking at token wrapping tokens. You are a potential strategic partner, and you have a base of 3 million token holders. Okay, but let's say you're trading at like 2 cents. Okay, that's what you're trading at. What we can do is we can tether your token to our token, potentially wrap it into a single token that our ad module will accept. And when we do that, our ad module is bidding. Okay, and the minimum bid is $1. But we think we'll bid up eventually to $2, $3, $4, $5, $6. Okay, so what that should be doing is those transactions are happening on the blockchain. They're transparent. Our hope is that we're going to be able to give basically a revenue share that is much more robust using the system, and that is also completely transparent. So we are taking an old school ad module concept, and we are moving it to a new world blockchain, basically ad empowerment, okay, advertising empowerment. So it's still the same, but we're basically moving the monetization component to a more decentralized fashion. And the last thing, of course, is privacy. And I run a data center, okay? If you think that your data is private, guess again. Everybody's out there going, delete my data right now. If there's something happens in accordance to such and such a law. So I got news for you. Credit card companies know everything. I don't know if people around the world know what like Walmart is. Maybe not. McDonald's, maybe PetSmart. Okay, but every time you swipe and use that card, you're leaving a trail. Okay. When they ask you for your phone number, you walk in, they always ask, what is your phone number? And they don't tell you why. It's very conniving. They're getting at that. So we know that privacy is important. We also know that DeFi transactions can basically provide a lot of privacy. So to answer your question, that was a circuitous response. But to answer your question, I think that the 2.0, 3.0 basically transition is those who can basically bridge the control, the monetization, and the privacy functions and issues and move them over from one square to the other. You got to have a business model that works.
Yeah, it's fascinating to me because I've spoken to quite a lot of people in the industry, and when it comes down to the bottom of it, it feels like Web 2 is just cluttered with middlemen and intermediaries, and
it is.
Yeah, right. It's also interesting that what you just said confirms it 100%, even in that business. And
well, yeah, what these, I got a lot of young people around me that'll take over. I'm just like Lacey here. I'm just throwing a grenade on the way out, and I'm going to blow everything up. And that's really all I want to do. So we've invested about $13.4 million in this platform. It is basically a reality. It's not a concept. It's not an idea. I'm old school. I believed in basically building it first. We've got 60,000 registered users. We're pre-ICO. Basically 100 plus thousand, whatever, follows on social media. We're just now going to crank up the marketing engine. So we're not basically out there doing an ICO, ITO, IEO, basically to launch an idea. No, we're way past that. We're up, we're running. We're already at first revenue. Of course, I'm not liking what I'm getting on the first revenue because I'm using a third party. But eventually, our economic development organization, crypto partners, are going to be able to come in and create their own instances. We're going to give them a co-branded instance of this. Then they can invite their users in, okay, and their token holders in. And then those users can take advantage of all the contract, grant, teaming opportunities. I mean, there's a gazillion of them that come into their profiles that will be customized to them. And it's absolutely free to them. Okay. And then we do a revenue share with the EDO crypto partner using our ad module. Okay. And if you think about this, we have created what we call the trifecta. So if you look at every organization out there, okay, you look at them and what do you see? You see an organization that has employees, one that has customers, and one that has shareholders, right? That's old school. And I'll tell you what, employees, they want higher wages, more benefits, to work less hours. Right? That's what they want. I've been doing this for a long time. Okay. The second is the customers, they're all fighting over resources. They want better products and services at a cheaper rate. Okay. That kind of competes with employees. Then you got shareholders who really aren't very sympathetic with either group. They just want to see their share price go up. Right. So as a business owner, a traditional business owner, people are struggling with this. Okay. So what we've created is we call the trifecta value proposition. We said, what if we could make the customer and the shareholder, okay, and the advertiser, if you will, and the user, roll them all into one and make them one. Okay. And so now we've done that because if our EDO crypto partners invite in, okay, their token holders who become users, their users benefit from all the free opportunities they get. Okay. And that basically then they will begin to use the ad module if they want to. There's a lot of peer-to-peer transactions that could take place inside the organization. And what we hope is that the EDO crypto partner will use the ad module and potentially we wrap their token with ours and then they begin to monetize the platform. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because most of your tokens out there, okay, are not tied to any intrinsic real world value. Okay. And I don't want to be a downer. Okay. But you got to tie yourself to something of value. Well, if you look at just the US, we have $2.3 trillion every year in contracts, grants, loans, purchase orders that trickle their way down into the private sector. So that G2B opportunity leverage is leveraging into B2B, then a business to consumer, then a business to investor, business to employee. So we're matching those opportunities all the way down. Now, the tokenomics of our platform is very simple, and we can get anybody to participate in it. Anybody that's another EDO out there that's struggling, that's looking for a way to get their token value up. Okay, and the way that is the tokenomics is really simple. Follow along with me. Okay, the more users we have in the platform, plus the more opportunities that we pull down with microservices, we're pulling down tons of them. And we have the more users we have and more opportunities, the more matches we have. Matches are the value proposition that we create. We are matching users with opportunities saying, go get that money, electrical engineer, go get that money, landscaper, go get that money, programmer. And then the more of those matches we have, the more impressions we have. The more impressions we have, the more ads we serve. The more ads we serve, the more revenue, whether it's crypto or fiat, we make, which then helps bolster the value of that particular token or that crypto element. It's driving real value. There's a dollar amount associated with that. And we even have a landing page that Lacey and her team have been working on. You can't see her, she's out of the picture right now. But that they've been working on right now that it's we're going to put the page up shortly, but it's going to have all the valuation metrics out there. All the KPIs are out there. We're not a meme token. We're not going to be tied to how much rain is going to fall in the Amazon rainforest next Thursday. Okay, I don't care. Okay, we are literally the tokenomics that I just described that will be on there is basically what's driving valuation matrix based upon a number of matches, total dollar amount, whatever it is of all the contracts, grants, awards in there. So we created a very compelling value proposition. So that's how I think our platform differs. And it was very important that we were able to tie this and build it before we actually launched, because I want to give potential token holders a real sense of value, that this has long-standing value. And all of my folks on the inside, when we get ready to publish, basically, we had our legal audit, and then we're in the middle of our token audit. And once all that's published and we get that page up there, we'll be very, very transparent with the KPIs, because I want to imbue potential token holders with a lot of confidence in the platform.
Right. Perhaps to wrap it up, can you tell us when the token sale is taking place?
The token offering is scheduled for the end of June. I know that's ambitious, but we don't have anything left to build. It's already done. It's up. It's running. It's got users. It's making money. So yeah, by the end of June, George.
Well, I think that wraps it up, to be honest. And even I understood pretty much everything fundamentally, which means that you did a really good job in explaining it. I think it will connect to our audience as well. So yeah, thank you so much for this interview. Can you perhaps tell us where our viewers and readers can find more information about MatchAwards as well as AIT?
Sure. So the domain name for MatchAwards is just what it says. It's www.matchawards.com. And if you go there, there's basically there's a sign-in page, sign-up page. We have a sample of what the opportunities look like. And then the page that we will be launching on is matchawards.com/ I believe it's MAPU, MAPU. That stands for MatchAwards Platform Utility Token. So it's matchawards.com/ MAPU, MAPU. And that'll be rolling out today, because I said it will be rolling out today to my staff, and I expect it to be rolling out today.
Perfect. And I assume MAPU is also the ticker name of the token.
That's what it's going to be. We've kept that very close hold, but it's out now. We've registered all the associated domain names with it. We are an ICANN accredited registrar, so we had an advantage there. But yep, that'll be the ticker of the token. Yes, sir.